Happy November, everybody. Can you believe it's November already? The rest of the year is just going to fly by, because it always does. As soon as Halloween is over, the rest of the year just, woo, and before you know it, it's Christmas. And so this morning I was drawing up a little calendar here so I could kind of plot out my videos for the rest of the year, and I realized there's only 8 weeks left in the year, which gives me like, well, we basically have like 6 weeks left to make Christmas projects. Well, 7 if you really want to push it. So I think now is the time to get into Christmas projects, which also reminds me that now is the time to make advent calendars. If you're interested in making an advent calendar, you know, the calendar that counts down the days until Christmas, because you would start using that on December 1st. So if you'd like to make the one I made last year, click on the link somewhere here, or I'll put it in. Try that one out, because that's our easy one to make, and you can get everybody involved. You can get the kids to paint all the ornaments and everything. And if you are making any Christmas projects, Christmas gifts, and if you'd like to post those over on Facebook, please, or send them to me if you like. I think Facebook's a little bit easier though, I think, because you can just post them directly and people can comment on them and that sort of thing. But I'd love to see your Christmas gift ideas. I've got a couple that I'm kind of thinking about, but who knows? But I'm not declaring summer officially over yet, because I'm still getting quite a few tomatoes on my plants. I've got, well, a couple of my plants aren't doing very well, but this one here, I'm still getting quite a few tomatoes on here that are still really tasty. This was my favorite plant over here. I wanted to show you this. I don't know if you remember this artichoke that I planted back in the spring, and it just wasn't doing anything. It was just, I thought it was dying. And so now that I guess the rains have started again, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's coming back to life. So I'm just gonna keep it there and see, maybe it's more of a winter plant. I don't know. Okay, I want to answer some questions and comments that were about yesterday's video, the register vent covers. First of all, let's see, questions. Oh, somebody was asking if that 1/8 inch thick is enough that it won't break, and well, maybe if it were pine I think it would be too soft, but oak is really strong, so I can't break that thing. I suppose maybe if you were standing on one concentrated point of it, you might be able to break it. Plus another thing, these are, you know, against the wall, so it's not really in a traffic area. People aren't really going to be walking on them. Secondly, a couple of people commented that cutting out these rabbets would have been easier to do it on the table saw. Yeah, you're right, that would have been. But I don't think a lot of people have dado blades, and so I thought I would just try to keep the video all on one tool, the router table. So, but I think that would be good. If you had dado blades, you could just kind of go all the way around there and cut them out much quicker. Or even without a dado blade, I was thinking you probably could just make one cut this way and then one cut this way somehow. That might work too. And also, Ty, who made the original ones that I showed you the pictures of, he didn't use a router table at all, well, except to do the rabbets, but he made these slots using just a little jig that he made for his plunge router, that he could just set it in and go and then move it and that sort of thing. So I guess there's a lot of different ways you can make these things. And the YouTube safety patrol was out in full force yesterday. So there was mainly one guy who he like spammed a whole bunch of comments. Well, he ended up deleting them all except one. You can get your point with one comment. You don't need to do that. And I just blocked him from my channel because I don't need people like that. But I think that some of these guys, they would comment on like an LOL cat video that something was unsafe. It's their life's ambition to comment on safety. But anyways, he was saying that these are unsafe. They're fire hazard to make them. So I guess if you keep your house at like 250 degrees, they might combust. But if you keep your house at that temperature, you probably got bigger problems. Also, I wanted to mention router bits. I mentioned this on Facebook earlier in the week that I had bought some brand new router bits. They were the Ryobi router bits, and they just broke. They just kept breaking when I was trying to cut through here. You know, that's kind of an enclosed cut, and I was taking it slowly, taking a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. So I busted 2 of them right away, and then I found this old bit. I don't know who makes it or anything. I found it with all my router bits, and this took me through the rest of the project. It's just a good hard steel bit. So you know, I guess the cheap bits are good if you're doing, you know, light work on your router, but this was a pretty heavy job to make all of these slots in 6 different ones, and they just couldn't take it. And I think that they might be made out of a different material too, which maybe that's why they're cheaper, and I think it was the heat more than anything, and they just broke. So I don't know, get some good router bits if you wanted to do something like this. Lastly, I wanted to mention this sign because whenever I shoot a video and a certain angle shows this in the background, I always get a few people asking me what that means. The sign is actually just a prop that I saved from a video that Wyatt and I made earlier in the year called The Cleaning Boy, which was just, it was a banana hanger was the project, but it was really just a goofy little silent movie we made. So if you want to watch that, just click on the link here.